Japan has transformed from aid to investment.
Arigato gozaimashita. Watashi wa Saurabh Jyoti to mousimasu. Respected dignitaries, President of FNCCI, Mr. Chandra, distinguished guests, representatives from CNI, JATRO, JCCN, distinguished dignitaries from the Embassy of Japan, Sekiya-san, Yokohama-san, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Nepal Nippon Chamber of Commerce and Industry, it is my great honor to speak to you today about the remarkable relationship between Nepal and Japan and the important role of Nepal Nippon Chamber of Commerce and Industries in strengthening this partnership further. Nepal Nippon Chamber of Commerce and Industry, or NNCCI, is a non-profit organization dedicated to fostering economic, cultural, and industrial collaboration between Nepal and Japan. Our mission is to enhance mutual growth and strategic initiatives that promote cooperation, trade facilitation, and long-term partnership. Our objectives are clear and purposeful. We facilitate collaboration between industries, trade, and business communities for both nations to promote economic growth by collecting and disseminating sectorial data, organizing trade fairs, work as think tank and a lobby group to provide advisory services to the government bodies on industry-related policies. We also aim to build strong global institutional linkages that promote Nepal and Japan cooperation. The historical foundation of Nepal-Japan relationships is very strong. Diplomatic relations were formally established in 1956, making Japan one of Nepal's longest-standing development partners. What began as development cooperation gradually expanded into trade, investment, technology transfer, and cultural exchange. Japan's contribution to Nepal has been extraordinary. Since the 1960s, Japanese official development assistance has supported Nepal's infrastructure, energy, disaster risk reduction, and education sectors. Japan has provided over 400 billion Nepalese rupees in grants and concessional loans, positioning it amongst Nepal's most consistent bilateral partners. After the devastating earthquake in 2015, Japan committed over $260 million for housing reconstruction, school rebuilding, cultural heritage restoration, and rebuilding our infrastructure. This support strengthened not only just physical infrastructure, but also the trust and goodwill between our two nations. Today, bilateral trade continues to grow. Trade has exceeded over $80 million annually, with a significant year-on-year growth. Nepal exports handmade products like carpets, tea, coffee, and handicrafts to Japan, while importing automobiles, machinery, equipment, and electronics from Japan. This reflects Japan's reputation as a quality-focused and standard-driven trading partner for Nepal. Japanese investment in Nepal has evolved significantly. More than 150 Japanese-supported projects are active across manufacturing, energy, automobile, tourism, and skill development. The relationship has now shifted from aid-driven to investment and industry-driven cooperation. For example, one of my own companies called Himal Moto now assembles world-class Honda motorcycles and products in Nepal with the technology transfer from Japanese professionals in Honda Motor Japan. Major contributions such as Sindhudi Road, hydropower projects like the Kulekhani, Kaligandaki A, Melanchi water supply project, and the ongoing Nagdunga tunnel stands as a powerful symbol of Japan's long-term commitment. Scholarships such as the Japan Development Scholarship and volunteer programs through AOTS and other JICA initiatives further strengthen human capital ties. One of our greatest strategic advantages today in our demographic connection is that approximately 273,000 Nepalese now reside in Japan as of 2025, making them one of the largest South Asian communities there. Nepalese students are also among the top 3 largest foreign student groups in Japan. This diaspora creates opportunities for skill transfer, cross-border entrepreneurship, and trade facilitation. Looking ahead, the opportunities are immense. In service exports, Japan faces shortages of IT and digital professionals, whereas Nepal's young and cost-competitive workforce is well positioned in IT and AI outsourcing and hospitality services. In trade and industry, there is a strong potential to upgrade Nepal's exports to Japanese quality standards and to develop joint ventures in agri-processing, light manufacturing, and hydropower. In tourism and cultural collaboration, Japan and Nepal can leverage using Nepal's Buddhist heritage, Himalayan adventure tourism platforms, and using other platforms such as the World Expo 2025 Osaka and such exhibitions that will happen in the future to strengthen branding and market entry into the Japanese economy. However, challenges remain. While Nepal has policies supporting foreign investment, the core issue lies in execution gap. We will be highlighting these issues in the next session when our Minister of Industry, Commerce and Supplies visits the exhibition and the seminar at 5 p.m. Also, the political instability and bureaucratic delays, overlapping government roles, infrastructure, reliability, and procedural complexities affect investor confidence. There is also a need for greater transparency, empowered one-stop service mechanisms, and better coordination across government agencies. The way forward is clear. Strengthen policy continuity, empower institutions with real decision-making authority, improve digital transparency, and establish joint venture governance and dispute resolution mechanisms. In conclusion, Nepal-Japan relations are built on nearly 7 decades of trust, cooperation, and shared value. The partnership has evolved from aid to investment, from infrastructure to innovation, and from goodwill to strategic collaboration. With proper execution, alignment of standards, and institutional support, the next phase of Nepal-Japan cooperation can be transformative. Let us continue to build a partnership that is resilient, forward-looking, and mutually prosperous. Thank you very much.
Global IB Bank, सबैका लागि बैंक.
Sincerely thanks NNCCI and the Embassy of the Japan in Nepal for organizing this timely and meaningful program today. Japan has been a long-standing and trusted development partner of Nepal, and the Japanese business are known worldwide for quality, discipline, and long-term commitment. We highly value the Japanese engagement with Nepal, not only in the development cooperation, but also in the trade, investment, and private sector collaboration. Foreign direct investment plays an important role in Nepal economic growth, job creation, and the technology transfer. For the country like Nepal, FDI is not only about the capital, it is also about the skill management, practices, innovation, and access to global value chain. The government of Nepal has taken the several steps in recent years to improve the investment climate. The Foreign Investment and Technology Transfer Act, the Industrial Enterprises Act, the Public-Private Partnership Framework, and the recent amendment to the related laws are all aimed at making the Nepal the more open and investor friendly. Efforts have also been made to simplify the approval process, improve the repatriation provision, and encourage the investment in priority sectors such as manufacturing, energy, tourism, information technology, and agriculture-based industry. At the same time, we must be honest and realistic. Investors still face the challenges related to policy consistency, implementation of the delay, infrastructure gap, and coordination among the institutions. From the private sector, representative stability, predictability, and the clarity is the rule are just as important as a incentive. FNCCI has constantly advocated for practical reform that reduce the cost of doing business, strengthen the contact, enforcement, and ensure the fair and transparent administration. We believe that the continued dialogue between the policymaker, domestic business, and the foreign investor is essential to address this issue effectively. Japan investment philosophy, along well with the Nepali long-term development need, the Japanese company often take a pattern long-term approach and focusing on the quality product, human resource, and the development, and the strong local partnership. Nepal offered the opportunity in the hydropower, clean energy, tourism infrastructure, agro-processing, digital service, manufacturing linked to the regional market. With the right policy support, the improve the facilitation, we believe the Nepal-Japan economic cooperation can grow significantly in the coming years. FNCCI remains committed to working closely with the government of Nepal, foreign chamber, and the development partner to promote a healthy investment ecosystem. We regularly engage in the policy dialogue, support investment promotion effort, and represent the concern of the both domestic and the foreign investor. Our collaboration with the FNCCI has been valuable in strengthening the business-to-business connection and in building the mutual understanding between the Nepal and the Japanese enterprises.
Today, I like to introduce ourselves and the people who are actually working here in Nepal, Japanese investors. So, okay. This is GCC members. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and another 6 division. Yeah, infrastructure, IT, manufacturing, tourism, soft service and restaurant, and manpower, education and manpower services. So these people are staying here now. We have 46 members. And Nippon Koei and Razama, they are working in Nagatunga Fundal and Toda some infrastructure for ODA project. And IT division also, we have Ritsu, Kumulabo, Aozora. They are receiving their jobs from Japan. This is outsourcing. And then the manufacturer division, we have Roto, Campo, KMP, Gas Governance, Beltechno. They have their own factory here. And actually they are manufacturing their goods. It's not very big now, but they are doing anyway. And then tourism division and soft service restaurant. You may know the Kotetsu, Jamsikel, and Alpha, Himeberi, Matsuri. And then this Nepal Kaze travel and HIS. Many people are welcoming Japanese people from Japan to Nepal. And most probably, you know, this education and the manpower sector is now very hot. Many people are visiting here from Japan, like Toyota, Nissan, many Japanese people are coming here, and finally they ask us how to invite them to Japan. So this education and manpower service is very hot now. We have many members also. So about me, this is Hideaki Takada. And I came here 2001, that is Royden Masaka year actually. And I've been working as a Hazama Corporation and administrative manager. So I was in Sydney Road project, salt trading, and water resources project, Kathmandu, Bhaktapur expansion, like that. So I have been working with the DOR, Department of Water and Health, NEA, the many governmental sectors. And in the work, I visited the Maldives, Sindri, so many places, you can see this. And then for trekking, I was also in the mountaineering club in my school age. So I visited the Everest Base Camp, Lantan, Annapurna, like that. So maybe I know Nepal better than the other Japanese people. And then my business is importing Japanese goods and liquors from Japan to Nepal. I'm selling this to people. Okay, so today I'd like to speak with the Japanese people who has already invested here and actually working. Then they may have some trouble also. Just I want to. He is also today here to attend this. So let's see, this Japanese water distribution company is here. They are working in Sokungu. And this is one Japanese well-known drinking water company. And they are FDI from Japan to establish water facility plant with local partners, 85-15. And then permitted for manufacturing, domestic distribution, and they are also concerned to export to the world. And after years, company registration already done, and the feasibility study already done. Now they are doing a geological survey ongoing. Then their policy, Mount Fuji, they are working. Their main factory in Japan is close to Mount Fuji. And then top person, he said the Mount Fuji technology to Mount Everest means Japan #1 to world #1. And then his policy and mission is to supply good water internally in Nepal and to contribute to economic growth of Nepal, they say. And then world #1 brand they go to Asia here in Nepal. So now the challenges and issues, like now Mr. Gime-san told me very good that is Nepal investment barrier, he said. So this is actually happening to my Japanese friends working really in Nepal. Every permission process, company registration, land acquisition, capital increment like that, and unclear and very slow. Unexpected legal government support is undelivered, means they came here to see the government, the local government people, and they said, you please come, I will do this and that, and many things. I will make the road, I will distribute the electricity like that, but that never happened actually. So this is not a complaint to Nepali people, this is very common in Nepal, so, but anyway, this is expected, the local government support is not delivered still yet. And many unexpected results. This also Mr. Gime-san was talking due to this administrative confusion, central, federal, local. So now they are running. And then cultural and language gaps be there. So they expect clearer rules and regulations. and implementation. This is most important word. And kind support for implementation from somebody. Maybe legal advisor, maybe accountant, maybe government people. But anyway, they are suffering. So next, Japanese energy company. He's also here today. Background, they are working in Kathmandu and Tarai. And investor, this one Japanese well-known energy supply company. And then they are FDI from Japan, Research Energy Distribution. Their ratio is 87 and 13. And they are permitted for importing and distributing the products in Nepal. And they are strong partners working actively to support their business. So they are not in very big trouble actually. In this energy sector, you have this electricity program now, gas program. Many programs are there, but their partners strongly supporting them. So differentiation through Japanese service style for development is their policy and vision. Japanese style service, you may know the word omotenashi, like that. For energy sector, they are implementing that. And then contribute to the economic growth of Nepal by attentive Japanese style service. That is their policy. Issues. Every permission process is unclear, slow, safety. And unexpected disturbances like a strike, road blockade, now what is happening to gas sector, and then that is not attended properly. Then they expect, okay, same, clear rules and regulations, implementation, kind support for implementation, and safe, resolve, and clear up current administrative confusions, central, federal, local. Okay, number 3, Japanese travel agency companies, now they are also here today. Basically background, they are sending tourist groups from Japan to Nepal. And then they are Japanese tourist companies considering Nepal as one of the best destinations in the world. They are recommending them to regular customers to visit once before you die. You may know this phrase, this NTV is also repeating this phrase. And one of 8,000-meter peaks, Manaslu, was conquered by Japanese group in 1956, 70 years back. This is 70th anniversary actually. And familiarity and sympathy to cultures, religion, living participants and others, they feel very close. They feel very similar, Nepali people culture, Japanese people culture. And I'm not a few repeaters once visited. Not a few people, once they came here, they love to Nepal, then they repeat the come and somebody decide to stay like me. Then the issues, unstable social situation, means some strikes or some disturbances happening on the road, on the public road. So unstable social situation, little accurate and reliable news on such facts and conditions delivered to Japan, so they don't know. Can I come or not? Many people are now asking me, okay, this March 5, before that, what after that, can I come? I cannot come, and nobody can reply to that properly, I think. So they are now in doubt of they can come or they don't come. So this type of news or facts are not delivered to Japan properly. And security enforcement policing week, actually, last time it's happened in the Sokungu area, local people against to come helicopter, come there, then they stopped, they blocked the alarm pole. Then at that time, many people once visited, but they are forced to come back to Kathmandu. That one, actually under control of the police or your government, but you didn't do anything, they didn't do anything. So many people are just with crying coming back from there by helicopter. Like that is happening. So security enforcement policing are very weak to stop local individual disturbances.
Conducted both online and offline. We also receive various queries and we provide individual responses and support accordingly. We also receive inquiries from Japanese companies that are already operating in India, and in such cases, we provide consultations and offer advice as needed. We hold seminars on the industry and market trends, as well as legal and tax matters to provide companies with useful information. Furthermore, in collaboration with the Japan Embassy and Japan Chamber of Commerce and Industry in India. We raised the challenges faced by Japanese companies in India to the Indian government and discussed the issues with them. We also organize our business matching events. For example, we set up a Japan pavilion at selected exhibitions overseas, where Japanese companies can exhibit and receive support in finding potential business partners for future collaboration. In addition to exhibitions, we also organize business matching events by ourselves. These matching events are held not only in industrial sectors, but also in areas such as Japanese food and human talents. Japan is facing a labor shortage due to its declining birth rate and aging population. To address this, we also support matching between Japanese companies and overseas talent. JETRO New Delhi also covers Nepal from India. I'd like to introduce some of our Nepal-related initiatives. First, we think there is a big opportunity for the Japanese companies in the food business in Nepal. Our team visited Nepal to meet potential partners in the Japanese food business. As a result, we found particularly strong potential for business development in the Japanese food sector. Therefore, we actively promote Nepal as an attractive market to Japanese companies. We are considering organizing a business delegation in the future in order to help more Japanese companies better understand Nepal's potential. Second, we have started promoting universities in Nepal as a potential partner for Japanese companies, specifically in terms of human resources. We have included 4 universities in Nepal in the Overseas University Directory that we created. Based on this directory, we aim to build relationships between Japanese companies and universities in Nepal, including recruiting talent from Nepalese universities and accepting interns. If Japanese companies are interested in any of the Nepalese universities listed, we can arrange meetings with them. We are also considering organizing a business delegation to provide an opportunity to better understand the potential of Nepalese talent. Third, we constantly organize online business meetings between Nepalese companies and Japanese companies. For example, this fiscal year, we supported business matching between Nepalese companies and Japanese companies in both the cosmetics and food sector. Today, many Japanese companies are doing business in a lot of foreign countries, and according to our survey, the Japanese companies in India have strong momentum. And I think some companies are considering expanding overseas from India in the future. That's why I'd like to share the situation of Japanese companies in India based on the results of JETRO's annual survey. This slide shows the result of the question we asked the Japanese companies in India regarding their expected operating profits for 2025. In India, 75.5% of Japanese companies responded that they expect to be profitable. We have conducted the same survey in other countries, and India ranks 6th from the top. The global average is 66.5%, so Japanese companies in India are performing above the global level. Next, please look at the right side of the slide. When we look at the trend in the time series data of profitable companies, the overall figure for Asia and Oceania remains flat. However, in India, the trend is clearly upward. This slide shows the result of the question concerning companies' expected direction of business development over the coming 1 to 2 years. According to these results, 81.5% of Japanese companies in India responded that they plan to expand. This is an outstandingly high figure compared with other countries. Furthermore, in India, more than 70% of companies have responded expand for 5 consecutive years. In ASEAN, this percentage has hovered around 40% to 50% in recent years. This clearly highlights the strong momentum of Japanese companies operating in India. From the survey results discussed in the previous slide, there are 2 key points that can be highlighted. The first point is that India is one of the countries where Japanese companies are showing the strongest momentum. The second point is that Japanese companies in India have a very strong appetite for investment. As of now, Japanese companies in India place a priority on domestic demand because domestic demand in India is growing at a remarkable pace. However, some of them are considering expanding their business from India to third countries in the future. There should also be Japanese companies in India that observing or showing interest in neighborhood markets from India. In such case, we hope that Nepal will be selected as one of the candidate countries. I hope what I talked today has helped you better understand the opportunities in India and Nepal. Furthermore, we hope that economic connectivity between Nepal and India will continue to strengthen. Thank you very much for your attention.
Approvals for retaliation is not required now.
The participation of many prominent Japanese business persons from Japan and India, as well as distinguished members of the Chambers of Commerce and Industry. This year actually marks the 70th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Japan and Nepal. Earlier this month, actually last week, we had the honor to welcoming Right Honorable President, Mr. Ramchandra to Japan. When Honorable President met with our Prime Minister, Ms. Sanae Takaichi, President Paul mentioned that Nepali government is making continuous efforts for improving the business environment in Nepal to invite more foreign direct investments, including those from Japan. And also both leaders reaffirmed our commitments to further strengthen the Japan-Nepal economic relations. Ladies and gentlemen, currently 46 Japanese companies are operating in Nepal in such areas as food, manufacturing, trading, education, and so forth. In recent years, the Embassy of Japan in Nepal, in our office, over 200 inquiries from the Japanese companies which are interested in Nepali markets. That shows quite strong sort of interest in this country as a potential destination for investment and business. Meanwhile, for Nepal to achieve stable and long-term economic growth as well as development, it is in my view that it is essential to strengthen domestic industries. At present, agriculture and tourism remain the major parts of Nepal's economy, alongside the significant remittance from overseas. However, as Nepal will graduate from the LDC status this year, It is my view that industrial sector, further growth in this industrial sector is very much needed. It is my personal opinion, there are several promising areas for Nepali, the future growth in the Nepali economy, including, say, hydropower, manufacturing, IT, and other areas probably could be promising, as well as the interests of the Japanese business person for future investment and business together with Nepali counterparts. And of course, it goes without saying that Nepal has a tremendous potentiality in the hydropower. As the world confronts climate change, confronts with the climate change, clean energy resources are more important than ever. Japan has already supported the Kanabo hydropower project, as well as the construction of the substation and transmission lines in Kathmandu and Pokhara. We will continue to do this kind of cooperation with the Nepali government. Because electricity can be exported or traded without depending on roads and railways, so it is quite suitable for Nepali business model to deal with expanding capacity of hydropower, as well as the capacity to export those energy to the neighboring countries. Another key area, in my personal view, is of course the manufacturing. As you all know, and there are Japanese business person from India here too. A lot of Japanese companies have already invested in India to set up their own branches and factories, lines, and so many of them. And I believe that sort of the collaboration with those Japanese companies in India is a kind of low-hanging fruit we can achieve, and aiming up to invite more investment in Nepal, Japanese investment in Nepal. So in that sense, development of the Terai region for manufacturing, because it's a vast plain land available there, and very close to the Indian markets, which is the across the border. Border is relatively free and open, so that's another potential area for me to boost more economic growth and investment here in Nepal. Of course, as I mentioned, IT sector could be another potential promising sector for Nepal. Again, IT doesn't require trucks and railways to export and import goods. And also, many Nepali well-educated engineers is annually produced in this country. So it's also promising, together with the capacity and quality of stable electricity supply. I think IT industries can be another potential areas. If I may add another element, in Japan nowadays we have more than 270,000 Nepali residents, and they are doing a lot of activities and businesses with the Japanese counterparts. I think that's the quite potential and important source of investment for Nepal, because they are Nepalese quite successful in their business in Japan. If we can together encourage and invite them coming back to Nepal to invest here, I think it's a great potentiality, and there are sort of human networks built in Japan. They can bring them with those kind of networks. That's another element of potentiality. Anyway, this is all my personal opinion, but it could be interesting to explore together with the Nepali government as well as the Nepali business from here today. So in closing, I sincerely hope that today's networking dinner will be a valuable occasion for all of you. And looking forward to exchange views and building new partnerships and further deepening Japan-Nepal economic relations. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you an enjoyable evening. Thank you.
म निस्किहालेँ।
फ्लाइट छुट्ने बेला भइसक्यो।
डाक्टर सुन्नु न, डाक्टर शङ्करको फोनै लागिरहेको छैन कि। इट्स एन इमर्जेन्सी। पेसेन्टको हालत एकदमै खराब भइसक्यो।
जिम्मेवारीको मामलामा यसै गरी हामी शिवम सिमेन्टले पनि क्वालिटीको मामलामा नो कम्प्रोमाइज भन्ने हाम्रो बाचा पूरा गर्दै शिर ठाडो पारिरहेका छौं सदा सर्वदा।
It's a profound honor to join you this evening at the Japan-Nepal Investment Seminar. Let me begin by extending my sincere appreciation to the Embassy of Japan and the Government of Japan for organizing this event and also the organizers here in Nepal. We are here not just to discuss business and investment, but also to honor a deep relation that nurtured by the people of our two nations for over a century. A century of shared footsteps. While we celebrate the 70th anniversary of formal diplomatic relations established in 1956, the spiritual and human connection between Nepal and Japan runs much, much deeper. Let me recall the year 1899 when the Japanese monk Kawasaki-san stepped into Nepali soil with his reverent footsteps in his quest for sacred Buddhist texts. His journey bridged the Himalayas and the Japanese archipelago, proving that no distance is too great for those seeking wisdom. Furthermore, I would also like to remember the 8 pioneering Nepali students who traveled to Japan in 1902 to study technology and industry. They were the first to recognize that Japanese innovations could be a catalyst for Nepal's progress. Today, we are the inheritors of the legacy. Japan has been a steadfast ally. From the reconstruction of our heritage after 2015 earthquake to the modernization of our infrastructure and healthcare. Let me go back to my own memory. In 1982, I joined a Japanese construction company in the beginning of my career. It was Shimizu Construction Company then. I believe it is called Shimizu Corporation today. A huge company. And when I visited Japan, I was really amazed the way the technology has progressed in that company. Excellency, Nepal is graduating from LDC status this year in November, and we are fully confident that our one of the oldest and close friends, Japan, will extend its full support in our graduation process, both in development cooperations, human skill developments, productivities, as well as skill developments, and the upgrading of its standards, and continuation of the trade supporting measures available for LDCs after the graduation as well. It is a challenge to us, but we have been trying our best to cope with it. Let us also talk about the landscape of opportunities. Your Excellency, you have already given a detailed background of what are the areas in which Nepal can extend, or areas where there can be mutual cooperations from Japanese investors in Nepal. Nepal today offers new frontiers for Japanese excellence. Our sectors are not just markets. They are areas where Japanese precision meets Nepali potentials. We talk about energy and also simultaneously the alternate energy also. With this potential in hydropower as well as alternative energy, Nepal can provide green energy across South Asia also. Technology is something that I would not like to talk about because I'm not a technical person, but still, technology is something that we can jointly
explore the areas where it can be enhanced. Our young and ICT professionals are ready to collaborate on ICT-related businesses, including AI and software developments. Tourism and agribusiness here also touched upon. And interestingly, only last week we finalized a draft bill on the tourism. It's called Tourism Act 2082, which will be presented before the coming Parliament, House of Representatives, and it has got a lot of paradigm shifts. And the process for approvals and the government controls have been reduced to facilitating models. From the heights of the Himalayas to our organic valleys, there are untapped potentials for high-value Japanese technology for transformation, transform our traditional strength into global experts in this area. And our commitment to you is, the government of Nepal is not merely inviting you, rather it is also a good opportunity for Japanese investors for making profits by investing in these untapped areas. Nepal has already started a process of slow reform. It is slow, but the reform process is on to, as I said, to transform from a controlled government system to a facilitating government system. We have streamlined our investment process through one-step service centers. We are still trying to do it effectively. Other procedural improvements are there, and also by making needful reforms in the Foreign Investment and Technology Transfer Act. Now all foreign investments are approved through online system. We have prioritized transparency and the repatriation of profit to ensure that Japanese investors feel as secure in Kathmandu as they are in Tokyo. And Kathmandu, I do not mean Kathmandu Valley only, but it's whole of Nepal and whole of Japan. As a closing remark, in the words of the early travelers, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Let this seminar be that step forward towards a new era of prosperity. I invite our Japanese friends to explore Nepal not just as a destination, but as a partner and place to make investments with viable, visible profits. Together, let's build a future that honors the monks and students of the past by empowering the entrepreneurship of the future. Thank you very much.
I will just summarize in 90 seconds what we discussed today. We had great presentations from JCCN Tawara-san, where he highlighted the problems of Japanese entrepreneurs and investors here. Another great presentation and very informative presentation from JETRO, where they were highlighting how they are facilitating investments of Japanese companies around the world and in India specifically. Mr. Chandratandan highlighted the role of investments into larger industries from CNI. Nepal Chamber of Commerce and Industries highlighted the role of MSMEs in investment via Devendra Lamsaniju, and FMCCI President was here and highlighted the problems that how we can increase investments in Nepal. Also, Mr. Suyit Gimre highlighted the role of increased investments needed to spur economic growth in Nepal from Nippon Chamber side. In summary, there were 4 points that we discussed. The 4 points being: strengthen execution mechanisms, empower one-stop service with real authority, and enforce service timelines to improve investor confidence. Second point was, as Ambassador San also mentioned, over 270,000 Nepalese in Japan. So how can we leverage the diaspora for investment and services, channel remittances, and Japan experienced talent into SMEs, IT, manufacturing, and joint ventures. Third point is upgrade export standards and JV governance, align with Japanese quality standards, and implement stronger JV contracts and dispute resolution frameworks. The fourth point, which JCCN Tarkasan mentioned was very important. What are the pain points of the Japanese companies and entrepreneurs in Nepal? Primarily being clarity, safety, and security of their investments. In conclusion, Nepal-Japan relations are built on nearly 7 decades of trust, cooperation, and shared values. The partnership has evolved from aid to investment, from infrastructure to innovation, and from goodwill to strategic collaboration. With proper execution, alignment of standards, and institutional support, the next phase of Nepal-Japan cooperation can be transformative. So let us all continue to build a partnership that is resilient, forward-looking, and mutually prosperous. As you can see, Nepal-Japan Investment Seminar, if you notice something, in the ease of the investment and the seminar, there are gaps. We aim to fulfill those gaps when we have the next summit next year. So we'll all collectively work towards improving the investment climate and fill these gaps. Now, I would like to raise a toast to celebrate the 70th anniversary of Nepal-Japan relationships, and may our relationship be stronger in the coming decades. I would request Ambassador San to please raise your glass and have a toast. Kanpai.